Welcome to WFPC Podcasting, your local source for the heart and history of Pike County, Indiana. And now, here's your host, Randy Harris.
CEDA. What is it? We're starting to see some publicity on CEDA with local faces. It's the Commission to End Drug Abuse in Pike County. At first glance, you think this is just another bureaucratic acronym developed by a think tank in Indianapolis or Washington, D.C. that becomes a mandate to our local governments. We've got to spend the money. Well, the director for CEDA is Lindsey Boyd Denno. She is our guest today. She is going to straighten me out on the mission and how it's working in this community. So, Lindsey, CEDA. This is just another bureaucratic acronym developed by a think tank in Indianapolis that becomes a mandate for our local government to come up with money. Is that correct?
Pretty far from the truth.
Have I become callous?
Maybe a little.
So, Commission to End Drug Abuse.
Yes.
And we, in today's society, we replace everything with an acronym.
Yes.
Commission to End Drug Abuse in Pike County. Explain that mission to us.
So where it kind of starts, it is a coalition, which can get confusing because it's the Commission to End Drug Abuse, but we call ourselves a coalition. It began many years ago before I was involved with it.
Like 2015?
15, I think, yeah. And what happens is when individuals get in trouble or, with the court, they have to pay certain fees. And then those fees then get kind of put into a pool, which then gets funneled back to the different counties. So theoretically, the more people that are paying those fees, the more we might get that year to then distribute out to different organizations that align with our ideas and what we're trying to do to then try to lower those numbers. That's the idea of how it works. But we have became a lot more than just a granting coalition here more recently as well.
Well, and we've had a couple of guests on this program that have referred to what you're doing, one directly and one indirectly. I know our coroner Nick Hensey said our drug-related deaths are down. Logan Tedrow of the prosecutor's office was in here. He referred to you specifically as being, I forget his words, but that you're an asset for this community getting all this started.
So I'll kind of explain how I got started with it. I am in 23 was in the Pike County Leadership Program. That is
You are a local girl.
I'm a local girl. Born and raised.
You're a
local girl.
Boyd, now a Denno.
Yes.
And I've known you since we were talking earlier. I passed out Charger basketball cards.
Yeah.
To your group.
To me.
To you.
Yes. So lived here all my life. Just went away to college a little bit and then came back. Have 3 daughters that are in school here and will be raised here. And we live here in town in Petersburg. So Pike County is special to me. It's important to me.
So the healthier Pike County, the better for
yes.
your family.
My family, absolutely. And a few years ago, I don't know if it was just kind of my age or what, but I was just feeling like I wanted to get involved in some stuff, like in Pike County. I went to college for occupational therapy by background.
I was thinking it was some medical.
Yes, but I wanted to get involved in something in the community and didn't really know what was available. If there was something that would kind of resonate with me more than just going and just picking something and, okay, I'll get involved in that.
WFPC podcasting is brought to you in part by the Dustin Schnare Agency for Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. They're located right here, just south of Illinois Street, 4407 North State Road 61, Petersburg, in the beautiful new freestanding building. Dustin and his capable staff, including Tyler Dillon, help guide you through the process on insurance. Whether it's home, auto, farm, commercial, or life insurance, the folks at Dustin Schnare Agency in Petersburg are here to help with the confidence that stands behind Indiana Farm Bureau and their experience. It's so much more personable when you can deal with someone face to face than a phone, text, email agent only. Dustin has been in business here since February of 2009. To top that, I've known Dustin since he was in high school. He and his wife Kelly have two beautiful daughters, Riley and Stella, who work as part of the staff at the Dustin Schnare Agency. Call them today, 812-766-1117.
This is Kyle Hathaway with Hathaway Excavating and Rock Yard. We have the equipment and crew to take care of your earth moving needs, septic installs, and digging out what you need dug out. We also deliver rock, and we maintain and pump septics. We're just a couple miles away. Call Hathaway Excavating at 812-582-2646.
So the Pike County Leadership Program was looking for individuals, and I signed up for that and went through that, and then graduated from that program in like the 22-23 class. That gave me a lot of knowledge about just the organizations that are available in Pike County. It gave me a lot of networking opportunities. It was a really great experience. Exactly what I was looking for.
This is put on by Jill at the Chamber
and Brooke Goebel, yeah. And I'm told them at Purdue Extension, Chamber of Commerce, and then they do a lot, with Ashley and the Bookta Center and Economic Development. I think they all kind of have a hand in it. So it's very good for that kind of thing. Exactly what I needed.
Being connected in Pike County.
Yeah. What's out there? What can you do? What could you get involved in? Just all those kind of things. So one of those meetings, Krista Robinette from United Way came and spoke, and I thought, I like this United Way. That's kind of like sounding like something I would like to get involved in. So then she gave me the list of the organizations that United Way sponsors. CEDA was on that list. She said, is there something on this list that stands out that you would like to maybe get involved with? And I said CEDA, because that is something that is personal for me. The recovery, the prevention, that kind of world is personal for me. It's personal for people that I am close with as well. So I said, that's what I want to check out. So I started going to their meeting, and it was funny at first because people that were around the table were each there for like an organization or something that, brought them there. And I was like, I'm just here, I live here and I just wanted to be here. So,
you have a passion to
end
drug abuse.
Yes, definitely. And just helping individuals that are, looking for recovery in whatever way that is. So I kept going and started getting a little involved with some things they were doing. And then subsequently is when Sally Petty, who had done it for years and years,
she was the first one.
She wanted to step away. And so then I ended up taking it. They were kind of wanting someone local to do it, and that just had a passion for that kind of work. So it just kind of seemed to work out.
You have taken the bull by the horns.
It makes it easy to do. I think whenever it is something that you care about, it's not just something like a spot Aiden fills, so I said I would do it. It's something that's really important to me. So it makes it easy to do.
And so talk to us about what you're doing. Tell us the different fingers that you've got.
Yes.
Working.
So we meet the first Thursday of every month at the Petersburg Library. We have been meeting at Calarita, and they were gracious enough to let us meet in there. And it seemed that we were at a point maybe outgrowing the spot there at Calarita. So then Lauren Gray, who is at the library, she also comes to CEDA. I asked her if we could start coming up to the library and using their conference room, which has worked out well because they have the big TV and stuff in there. So we have a lot of people that come in on Zoom as well that maybe can't attend, live out of town or whatnot, but still want to, attend the meeting. So that has worked out well because we have in person and online probably between 10, sometimes 15 people there on an average month. So we have a really good turnout from the community and just different people within the community. We have the Pike County Health Department that comes. We have the Sheriff's Department that comes. We have the library that comes, the Family Health Center, the prosecutor's office. Logan Tedrow's wife, Jess, who is a doctor and specializing in psychiatry, she comes. So she's been a great asset. Dr. Wiseman comes, who is very passionate about recovery and,
Got a
Yes.
solid crew.
Yes, definitely. And there's more that
If somebody is watching and they have an issue and recognize I need some help, what's their first step?
Actually, I had somebody reach out to me on Friday just via our CEDA Facebook page, Messenger, said I have a family member who is in the Pike County Jail and is really interested in getting involved with this recovery program. Like, what do I need to do?
Great.
So I contacted Chad Smith, who is one of our Pike County peer recovery specialists, asked him what to do. He took down the individual's name and then also told me what to tell them to get the process going. So I let them know and then said, let me know if you have any other questions. But that's how simple it can be. I think that's a lot of times people just don't know, if I want some help or need a resource, where do I even start?
And it might have to come from a family member.
Yeah.
Because it would be pretty hard to walk into a stranger or a group of strangers and say, I have this issue.
Yeah. And that is one of the biggest things that I want to achieve with all of this is just having more open and honest conversations with people, because I think the more that we talk about things, it could be anything, but this is the thing I want to talk about. But the more that you talk about things, the less stigma there is around it and the less shame that people have around it. Because if they're all talking about it, then it's not as bad whenever I talk about it then, if that makes sense.
Lindsey, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's in all corners of this fallen world.
Yes.
So there is help available. A couple weeks ago at the EDC chamber meeting, you were named Nonprofit of the Year. Wow,
Yeah, that was awesome.
that's pretty impressive.
Yes.
Why did they recognize CEDA?
Well, CEDA and Rise together. I don't know who nominated us, but thank you to whoever did. And I was very humbled by that. And I think they did is because they've just been here. a long time ago, like I didn't even know what CEDA was a few years ago. And I think it has become a lot more common conversation. Like people are like, oh yeah, I know what CEDA is, and are beginning to understand like what we're trying to accomplish. For example, I'm at the, Buffalo Trace, and somebody walks by to our table and they're like, well, what do you guys do? So, a lot of people don't understand. And I want people to understand like that CEDA doesn't necessarily do recovery with anybody, but we are, and Logan has kind of turned us this, and I like it. We're kind of like the hub, the recovery like hub, where everybody that is interested or has a hand or a part in education, prevention, or recovery all comes together. And
You're the facilitator.
yeah. And if you need to know where to go, then message me, and if I'll figure it out for you, and send the information your way.
You're the central nervous system.
Yeah. So yes, the getting that award was amazing. And another amazing thing I think about it, other than just winning the award, was the public awareness that came with that, because there were so many just posts and social media and look who won. But like, it was like, if you didn't know what CEDA was before that, maybe you do now. And maybe you know that there are people in Pike County that want recovery and prevention and education to be a normal thing, and something that you don't have to be ashamed about to ask for help or to talk about.
Yeah, back in my training, we were always told to spell it out, then maybe second, third reference you could call a C. But again, it's Commission to End Drug Abuse. Mm-hmm. And this is a local thing. It started from the state, mm-hmm, saying you need to do something. You take the ball and run with it.
Yeah.
And so this is the name that was developed, Commission to End Drug Abuse. You've mentioned him a couple of times, or I've mentioned him once, but Logan in the prosecutor's office, you've got Darren and Sarah up there that are so busy with their regular business, they pulled Logan in, and this is kind of his angle.
Yes.
Let's keep this from growing in the community. And you seem to have the right things in place. Tell us about RISE.
RISE is a peer recovery specialist program. They're based out of Washington, and they employ individuals who have real lived experience with addiction in some capacity, but have been clean and sober, and now have a passion and a desire to help other individuals that are where they have been.
And you've got a couple that are assigned to Pike County.
Yes. We have a male and an individual, or a male and a female, that work with those.
And they can take someone by the hand and walk them through it, and they do that.
Yes. And speaking from experience, it is a lot easier to be open and honest about like what you're struggling with somebody who has that experience. Because you feel a little less judged because, they've been there. So it's okay to like be honest with them because they know where you've been,
They know what you're dealing with, and they have something that worked for them.
Yes.
That got them past that.
Yeah. And they're great about finding resources. I think like that's one of their strong points. So I had a family member that was kind of looking for some stuff, and I was able to reach out to Shad, and he was just like, yeah, we could do this, or this. I could probably get them here, or here. They just know, like they know the different recovery houses that are local. They know like what insurance they may or may not take. They know, like they just know this kind of thing. So If an individual doesn't know here in Pike County, I need to reach out to Chad, then they could reach out to me or CEDA, and then I could,
You're resourced.
just, point them in the right direction at least.
You've kind of come up with a campaign, and I've seen it on billboard, but attention, education, prevention. WFPC podcasting is brought to you in part by Schultz Eye Care at 715 South 9th Street, Petersburg. Schultz Eye Care offers comprehensive dilated eye exams, contact exams, a huge selection of frames, glasses, and sunglasses ranging from Nike, Under Armour, Coach, Oakley, and Ray-Bans. Get a second pair of glasses 50% off and a year's supply of contacts at 25% off. Dr. Clint Schultz and his friendly, capable staff have over 40 years experience in the eye care business. They are local. It supports your community, and Schultz Eye Care does that. Open Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, 8 to 5. Tuesdays, they close at noon. The phone number is 812-354-9400. Recently, the real estate market has been unpredictable, but the sun is starting to shine, the weather is breaking, and at Harris Real Estate, we have clients looking for homes and properties. Let us help you sell your home and property and or find your next one. You always have heard that and it's so true, that real estate is local. We are local. We know the business. We know the community. Harris Real Estate has listed and sold hundreds of properties right here. Harris Real Estate, 812-380-1065.
Education, prevention, recovery.
Hey, you know what? Say, Randy, put your glasses on at your... Okay. So, talk to us about that.
That is something that, because I was wanting to come up with like a slogan of some sort that was easy to understand and fit well with us. And that is what I came up with, mainly because I don't want to just focus on one or the other. I think all three of those are equally important. I think that people that maybe have never had any history or ever had to deal with a friend or family member in addiction simply just need education about what is really going on, So that education could be in many different ages, places, wherever, but just education so that people aren't scared of addiction and recovery, because it's here, it's everywhere. So
what's your youngest case that you've dealt with? High school?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, middle school, high school. Yeah, definitely.
What's your oldest?
Elderly.
Real?
Yeah. So the education is just educate, get the facts out there. What's the truth about this stuff. The prevention, I feel like, is a little more geared toward your youth, and just like, so we went out. Myself, Logan, the sheriff's department went to visit with Mrs. Sparks' SAD group, the Students Against Destructive Decisions, and did some information there. So that would be like our prevention, trying to reach kids when they're young and just educate them on different things, but like most specifically, like not everybody is doing it. So if you hear that, you think that's not the case. And then recovery is those folks that are already kind of in the struggle. And having the resources available for them. So that's why those three, education, prevention, and recovery, can meet people wherever they are and cover, all the bases. You just need some education on what's really going on. You need some prevention, or you already are in it, so you need like recovery. Because we want it to be, multi faceted, not just helping people once they're in addiction, not just trying to prevent it, and then not leaving out people that really aren't in this world. So we think that kind of covers everyone.
What else is on your? What else do we need to discuss besides?
I don't know.
Besides peer, how? I'm going to ask you. I'm going to go ahead.
We also do have local meetings that we didn't have a while ago. So myself and someone else started Narcotics Anonymous meetings every Monday night. We have those at 6:00.
What is your attendance like for that?
Average 10,
Really?
give or take. Yeah.
And there again, you've got people that are dealing with this or understand where you are right now as far as someone who's struggling, and you've got a group again, more resources to come together and help you walk through that journey.
Yes. There are people that are fresh in the recovery. There are people that have been in recovery for several years that come. So it's a great group just to come in, and I would say it's like free therapy because you really are, sitting and talking and, working through things with people that aren't going to judge you and aren't going to talk about what you talked about whenever you leave.
Leads us to Christ. How is Christ working through your organization?
I am a Christian, and I leave that door open as much as possible. I don't want to push that on anybody that's not ready, because everybody, I think, has their own path and their own way that they're going to come to the Lord. So I just...
they got to find it themselves.
Yeah.
It's not because you tell them to.
Yeah. I don't ever want to deter anyone from recovery because maybe they think that they have to do that at the same time, which is not the case. Everybody recovers different, and everybody finds the Lord differently. So I just always try to be a resource in that capacity as well whenever somebody is ready for that.
What else is on your list?
Other than the meeting that we have on Monday nights, Dry Bones Resurrected Recovery has started a meeting at the River of Life on Friday nights at 7. At 7:00. So that is a more faith-based recovery that they have there. I think they started it
in
months ago.
Dry Bones, is that alcohol? Is it everything?
Anything. Yep. And ours on Monday is Narcotics Anonymous, but since we are small and don't have a lot of options, we welcome anybody.
Anything?
Alcohol, anything. You got a friend or a family member that's struggling, you can come in and just listen if you want.
Let's see how they help
Yeah.
you
Definitely.
toward that person.
Eventually, I would love to have an NA meeting and another AA meeting and even an Al-Anon meeting at some point, but we're just working on this one for now.
All right, you've got to grow.
And then Alex Benefield and the Mount Olive Church, they're on Cato, they have started Celebrate Recovery on Sunday evenings at 6:00. So that's a different, yes. So it's nice that we are getting things on different days of the week, because if you're in a bigger city and you are looking for meetings, you can just pull a meeting up and you can go anywhere, almost any time of the day.
So if we have these issues in rural Pike County, think about what it would be like in a big metropolitan area. We took a couple days off. I rarely take a vacation because I'm busy. But we did take a couple days off before Christmas. Went to New York. You walk out the door of the hotel and there's a dozen guys lined up against the wall with just smoking marijuana openly. And you just said, oh my.
Yeah.
And it's an issue everywhere. Pike County, is it that bad?
I mean, I think it's bad enough, and I think it's more intimidating for people to get help sometimes, or to like reach out, because in a smaller community, you think that everybody knows everybody, and you don't want everyone to know. So, like in a bigger city, if you're decided that you want some help, you can go to a meeting, and probably nobody's going to know yet. And
It's more
you know,
anonymous.
yes. So,
And your failure isn't based off of that one attempt.
yeah. So I think it's scarier for people to be honest about things in a small town, because you know everybody.
And you can provide anonymity
Yes, that's
to get you started.
yes, that's one thing that's really important at our meetings. And I fully trust everybody. And I know some of those people that are in there from outside in there. And I fully trust that they are not sharing things that I'm sharing whenever we leave there. And that's what makes it that's what makes it okay to share.
Well, and again, the people involved in that have been in the situation of the person with the abuse that's trying to get it corrected.
Yeah.
So they know where this person has been.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. And back to Logan, I think he is a huge asset to the recovery community, because I believe that he really wants people to succeed. Which is his.
He doesn't want to deal with them down the road.
Yeah. And
Let's nip it in the bud.
yeah. And I have a lot of people from, like I said, the police department and the sheriff's department that are really proactive. Yeah. And it has changed my way of thinking, of what I used to think years ago about police and prosecutors, and things. I had a jaded,
We can all
but I can truly say that there are a lot of people that are involved with CEDA, including those that I mentioned, that want people to succeed.
I'm going 100 miles for deer. I'm going couple thousand miles for deer. Closing the borders, does that help? It's got to.
Yeah, I mean, I would think it would, but
We're not talking the immigration. We're talking preventing bad things from coming into this country.
yeah,
Everybody is for a failing once a better way of life. We're all for that. And this is the melting pot to come to. However, if you're doing bad things, well, stop here.
yeah.
Let's check you out.
Check you at the door.
Right. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So that's got to help too, doesn't it?
I would think so. Yeah.
What else is on your list?
Oh, I got one.
They have lots of lists.
Some people ask me like, like what is CEDA? What do you want it to be? My main thing is that I don't want people that live in Pike County to say that like there aren't any resources here. Like I was looking for help. I needed somebody to talk to, and there was nothing here, because, a lot of times whenever you are struggling, maybe you don't have a vehicle running, and you can't go to Washington or Jasper or Vincennes where there's like an overload of resources. So I want there to at least be some resources here. And I think that we've really been building on that. Yes. And have gotten a lot of positive feedback from people about it, and just whenever somebody reaches out to me on Facebook and wants to know how to get in contact with somebody in the jail, that's amazing. And if anybody reaches out to me and has a question, then I'm always glad, because I know that they heard it somewhere, that like, there's a resource somewhere around here that's going to figure out where to get to it.
And that Facebook website, is it just CEDA?
Yes, CEDA. Well, it's CEDA, Commission to End Drug Abuse. So if you type in CEDA, you should be able to find it. There's another CEDA that kind of pops up there as well. But we've got like
Pike County. You've got Pike County on your site.
Yes. We've got like 560 followers now, which is way more than we used to have. So that makes me happy as well, just because whenever I post something, like more people are seeing it. But yeah, that was like my main thing. Like I don't ever want somebody that has been struggling to say, well, there was nothing here or nobody here that cared, didn't have to help, or there wasn't anything. So I want that to be different.
And I know you well enough that if somebody reaches out to you, you're going to do all you can to
Yeah, definitely.
to get them in the right direction.
Yeah. Anybody that wants recovery or support or resources, like, absolutely reach out, and I'll do my best to get you pointed in the right direction, at least.
Get you started.
Yeah.
You'll walk them through the process.
Yes.
And you'll take them to others who can.
I can point you to.
Who can do more than your ability.
Yes,
We're lowly administrative.
Yeah, I'll just funnel you out to the right person, at least.
One thing Logan and I talked about. You don't have to get arrested to get started in this process.
No, that's another good point. No, you don't have to. I had somebody wasn't quite ready, but there was still interest, and so I reached out to Rise and just make sure. And absolutely, you don't have to be in trouble first. I mean, it's just good if you're not in trouble first, but you're wanting some help.
You recognize the issue. That's the first step.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got to recognize there's a problem.
Yeah. So everybody's going to be at different stages in their recovery. So
WFPC podcasting is brought to you in part by the Log Ends Farm Bed and Breakfast. If you need a place to stay in Pike County or the surrounding area of southern Indiana, there is no place quite like the Log Ends Farm Bed and Breakfast. Just a couple of miles west of Petersburg at 2769 Indiana State Road 56. It is quaint to say the least. It's peaceful. You're surrounded by nature and God's creations in a very traditional rural farm environment, which is what Steve and Donna set up years ago. It's now passed down to the next generation of Courtney and AJ, but still under the watchful eyes of Donna. It is a traditional farm fare nestled in the countryside of southern Indiana with a working farm that grows grain, hay, and livestock. It incorporates 2 vintage log cabins. It's small, personal operation. They make you feel like family. Visit their website, logends.com, and call today to book your retreat, 812-354-2192. Winter is wrapping up, maybe. That salt and grime on the roads to provide safe driving this winter is eating away at your vehicle. You don't see the damage underneath. On the paint, it is corroding your vehicle. When you wash your vehicle on a regular basis, there are many advantages. You're easier to see, you preserve the life of your vehicle, help maintain its value, enhance vision, and it looks better. The washing with a wand, you can get into those crevices. Stop by Petersburg Car Wash today, 401 South 9th Street, State Road 61, Petersburg. Keep it clean. Let's look at your list again.
Sure. I made a bit coming up.
What's that?
Unity and Community. It is on May 2nd from 11 to 2 at the Mosaic Church. I did it there because I didn't want to have to reschedule if it does rain. So
You have a place to go.
we gotta be the schedule.
Probably.
It'll be a little tighter in the gym, but yes, I don't want to have to reschedule.
That's a big gym.
Yeah, so we can make it work. So hopefully we'll have nice weather.
Give us that date one more time.
May the 2nd,
May the 2nd. Write this down.
11 to 2. We have 2 big bounce houses and then a small one for smaller children, so they won't get trampled on by bigger kids. We have 5 or 6, I'm still waiting on one confirmation, food trucks or like the ice cream trucks, you know. We have about 20 resource table individual organizations that have signed up. We have a couple of live musics. Alex Benefiel and his group Cato and the Hometown Goal have both said that they would come. I think the fire department.
Those are fun guys.
Yeah. Was going to come, maybe have their fire truck. And then the library has said that we could use some of their oversized outdoor games, like yard games. And so we'll have a couple of carnival boards going as well. Everybody that comes will get a food ticket, and then they can purchase one food item from whatever truck they choose with that ticket. There'll only be certain items at each food truck they can get. It's not the whole list, but like, come over to this one and you can get this, or this item with this ticket. So every person that comes can get a food item. And then I'm going to have passports, I'll call them. And if you get those passports signed by 5 different recovery tables, then you can turn that in and get a free shirt. So just visit 5 tables and get some information.
Who is your target? What's your demographic for this event?
Everybody. That's what I want. I mean, I want everybody in the community to come. I don't want people to just think it's only for people that had been affected by drug or alcohol abuse or in recovery. So if I haven't been, then I'm not invited. That's not the case. I want it to be a fun family event, drug and alcohol free for anyone to come and enjoy the day, but to also have the availability of the resources that are local and some surrounding county resources that you can also learn about while you're there. So this is our first one. So I'm not sure. We could have 50 people. We could have 150 people. I don't know.
Well, it sounds like an outstanding opportunity to help get commissioned and drug abuse into the community.
And we've already had a lot of local organizations that have donated to help support to make it as free as possible for everybody. I don't want a family that has, several kiddos that don't want to come, so they think it's going to cost too much to, like a food truck. So that way, at least everybody gets one food item. And we have a snow cone mania, I think. They're going to have unlimited snow cones. So everybody gets a free snow cone.
That's cool.
Yeah. So.
And you don't have to be a part of anybody who has an issue. It's just positive reinforcement.
Yeah.
We don't want this to become an issue.
Yeah. And just come out and just support what we're doing for other people as well. Yeah. And then, just come out and have fun at a drug and alcohol free event. Just come out and enjoy yourself and
live music,
food,
games.
Yeah. So
what a great afternoon.
Yeah. For no rain.
At Mosaic Church.
Yes. In the outdoor space.
May 2nd. That's Saturday.
Yeah.
11 until 2.
Yes.
You're going to be worn out.
Yes.
That night.
I don't know.
Keep going through your list. We want to continue lowering the rates on drug abuse in Pike County, and it looks like You're doing an outstanding job at contributing to lowering those rates. What else is on there?
Just a reminder that like anybody that wants to get involved with CEDA can come. You don't have to. We have a lot of here recently, a couple different community members that are affiliated with an organization. You know, a lot of people come with their organization, but that's not a requirement. You can just be in the community and you want to be involved.
And as we mentioned earlier, almost everybody is involved. Just because it's our community, we want to keep it healthy.
Yeah, I said that at Coffee Connections, that there are likely less people than there are more that could say, I have never been affected by this, right, in any capacity, whether it be myself, my parents, my children, cousins, friends,
Neighbors.
Yeah. I think there's probably a small amount of people that can say it has never touched my life in any way. And, you know, that's why there's more people out there going through this than what you realize. And the more that we talk about it, the more that other people will realize that I'm not alone. And it's
those guards.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a taboo thing. Like, we can talk about it and recover together. So.
Well, great. Lindsey, it's CEDA.
Yes.
But it's say it to me one more time.
Commission to End Drug Abuse.
Pike County.
In Pike County, yes. Because every LCC, local coordinating council, has a different name for their organization. So like Davies County, they have a different name for theirs. Knox, they have a different name for theirs. They have an LCC, like we are, that gets the funds and is able to grant those out, but they aren't called CEDA. They have a different name, so.
Well, you're doing a great job. We appreciate that for this community. And again, they can find you on Facebook.
Facebook, yes.
And if they want to get plugged in, you've got places to plug them in.
Yes. And I almost forgot, we have been working, and Jess Tedrow has been helping me with this as well, getting it's like a live document that has all of the local resources that you can find and access. And we've got a QR code that you can scan, and then just a link that you can type in if you don't know how to do the QR code. And I just got those recently. We've got some keychains and window clings and magnets with those on there. So we're going to try to
window clings have replaced bumper stickers.
Yeah. I didn't want to get stickers because I was afraid organizations might. Yeah. So we've got lots of window clings that we'll put where we're allowed to, to people can see, oh, I'm just going to scan that QR code. And then it's a live document so that we can update the information that's on there if we need to.
Lindsey, you and I have spoken of this day for months and months, and
finally here.
Finally here. So thank you.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Anytime I can talk about this kind of stuff, it's a good day.
Thanks for joining us for this program of WFPC Podcasting. The program is brought to you by Hathaway Excavating and Rock Yard, Schultz Eye Care, the Log Ends Farm Bed and Breakfast, the Destin Schneider Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance Agency, Harris Real Estate, and Petersburg Car Wash. Please thank our sponsors for their continued investment in Pike County. A new program appears each Friday on WFPC Podcasting, exploring the people, information, and news right here in Pike County. See you next week.
Thanks for watching WFPC Podcasting, your local source for the heart and history of Pike County, Indiana. From back roads to town centers, we bring you the voices, stories, and news that shape our community. Join us on this journey through the past, present, and future of Pike County, Indiana. Tune in next week for the next episode of WFPC Podcasting.